I think the major challenge is to remain relevant. We're still using assessment methods that were invented in the 1920s. We're still using data analysis techniques that was developed in the 1950s. And we're still using reporting methods that go home to parents that were developed when your grandparents were at school. So, given the shift in technology, the shift in industry, the shift in the economy, we've got to get out of the habit of using industrial era methods and reporting techniques, and we've got to start using post-industrial knowledge economy techniques of collecting, interpreting and reporting assessment information to parents, to employers, to governments in ways that are more consistent with the knowledge economy and that are more consistent with the effect of the fourth industrial revolution. I intend to talk about the issues facing assessment and curriculum and teaching. It's impossible to separate one from the other, too. I'm talking about how countries have developed ways of improving assessment, improving teaching and curriculum, or in many cases how countries have failed to do that because they've not addressed all three. In particular, I would be discussing a project in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where I'm currently working with the government there to change their curriculum from a content-based curriculum to a competency-based curriculum, using assessment as the driving mechanism, and in doing so we need to train 500,000 teachers in how to make this paradigm shift in teaching and learning. It's a big task, but it's only scale. Once we get the infrastructure in place and the ideas that assessment cannot be any longer multiple choice tests that are paper and pencil lookalikes, we need to have different paradigms of collecting information about observing what students are doing, interpreting what students are doing, and then making decisions or reporting to parents, to the student, to other teachers, to the system, about the skills, not the scores. It's about believing that every student can in fact improve and grow. But in order to operationalise that, we have to define what growth means. And in that case, we have to define progressions of competence development from simple to the sophisticated, from easy to difficult, from elegant to rough. But there's all kinds of continua and progressions that we need to replace A's to E, grade equivalents in the schools. We need to replace the reporting method to parents, and we've got to replace the way in which teachers assess students in the classroom, and in fact how they learn, because our current model is that the teacher is the expert, and the teacher tells the students everything they need to know. But in fact, Mr. Google knows a lot more than the teachers. So we need to replace the teacher with Mr. Google and change the role of the teacher to help the students use Mr. Google more effectively. And in doing that, we need new forms of competencies such as critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, and citizenship, what we call the 5 C's. And the 5 C's replace the old 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. And once we move that into that paradigm, suddenly the disciplines of mathematics, of language, of geography, of social education, they become silos or boundaries that prevent the kind of paradigm shift of learning that needs to take place in the classroom. So what I'll be talking about here is somewhat controversial. I hope to stimulate quite a bit of discussion about the role of assessment and how it can change teaching, reporting, and develop curriculum from the ground up. The old idea of there's an intended curriculum and an implemented curriculum and an achieved curriculum really is also pre-industrial era. So we've got to drag education systems out of the industrial era into the fourth industrial revolution and the knowledge economy. That's my plan.